The first question I have coming in here is, this is a great question. Okay, if I engage in submission, right, in sexuality, won't that cause me to start being submissive in the rest of our relationship? Fantastic question. Okay, so I'll just take a quick crack at this one. Annie, pass it to you, right? The answer is no. And it's the bedroom and the boardroom are two separate places. Right? And precisely being able to actually let go. And this question is from Julie, right? So Julie sounds like a woman. So Julie, that's a great, great inquiry. You see, when you're able to let go of the need to be in control in the boardroom, which is a legitimate need, an important need. And I say the boardroom, I mean all the places of life where the feminine, right, correctly wants to claim power, right, as the feminine well should. But then what you can do is, right, you can actually then find that part of yourself that actually wants to give it up, that actually wants to let go of control. And in the boardroom, that's not an appropriate place to do it. But at least as one powerful flavor in the bedroom, you can actually let yourself be ravished, right? In other words, not raped, but ravished, right? Let yourself be loved open. Let yourself be fucked open, right? Submit, right, to the larger context, right, and submit, right, to the personal love, right, of your partner. And that submission will fill you, right, in a way that almost nothing else can. And in no way should that at all, right, spill over into the boardroom. Boardroom's a different world. Actually, by playing it out in the bedroom, then you actually liberate yourself to be fully powerful in the boardroom. Annie, anything on that, sister?
Yeah, that's great, Mark. We didn't really dive into the intricacies and the labyrinthine aspects of S&M, but when you take a very high magnification on this domain, you start to see that the edges between sub and dom start to frazzle, and they're actually quite porous. And in real S&M play by the experts, when you read books about the psychological phenomenology of each person in the scene, it's not clear who's sub and dom, even if it looks to the outside that who's dom is dom. So what I want to add is it's a distinction that's been helpful for me. Surrender is not submission, okay? And sometimes we have an issue with submission, and the word gives us the creep, used to be for me for a while. When I realized that surrender is what it feels like when you're on your skis at the top of a mountain coming down and you lean forward like they tell you to because that gives you more control over the skis, you're surrendering to gravity and to the angle of the mountain. And funnily enough, as you surrender, as in lean down, lean in forward, which your body is saying, don't lean, you're going to fall. But every good skier knows if you lean and bend your knees, you're surrendering to what the skiing enterprise requires to have more control. So it's a strange thing that when you surrender, you actually feel safer. When you surrender to what's so and what's required of the situation, you feel safer than when you resist it. And at that point, that's where surrender and control start to merge. And it can, when you really get into these explorations and role play, you start to see that who's the sub and the dom is not always clear, and it toggles back and forth despite what the script looks like. Okay? And so in terms of whether you'll get more submission in the rest of your life or whether it'll leak out, whatever you're afraid of is probably exactly where you need to reintegrate and unmarginalize. Because the fact that you've been afraid of it means that there's some part of it that offers healing and an expansion of the spectrum of what you're capable of. So I would invite it into the range of all the possibilities that you can occupy. If you've got domination nailed in the rest of your life, work on the other one during sex. If you're more surrendered in the rest of your life, try on a dominant role play with your partner. It'll feel odd and awkward, but you're cultivating new muscles that'll impact the rest of your life if you try it during sex.